Okay, welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about comping in Logic Pro. First of all, I wanted to show you the settings you need to enable to create take folders. These regions you see when you have a little disclosure triangle, they are take folders. So this is my overhead with three complete takes and three of the ending. Same on the other ones. I've recorded them all together. By the way, recorded by this guy. Okay, so this is a take folder. So disclosure triangle, you can see all the tracks. We'll go back to that in more details in a second. Settings, command comma. We go to recording. Okay, and you see at the bottom here you have this overlapping track recordings settings. And you can choose between audio and you have options for audio and MIDI on what to do when you are overlapping a track. So with cycle on or cycle off, if you're recording over an existing recording, you can decide to create a take folder, create a new track, or create an alternative. Okay, for audio and for MIDI, you can create a take folder, same as those, or you can merge. I currently have it on as merge for MIDI because I mostly record on cycle when I want to overlay, for example, drums or percussions. So I do, rounds with the cycle region on to add drums or percussion. And then on MIDI, I have replace if there is a punch in. Okay, maybe you don't understand some of these terms, but we'll go back to them at some point. Okay, right, back to our drum session. This is for a song that I have published, Thursday Night in New Orleans. Find it on Bandcamp and everywhere else. All right, so we got 4 take folders. The first thing to note, let's say we open this overhead here. Okay. Oh, by the way, this option scroll on the magic mouse down or left and right to zoom in, zoom out horizontally. Option scroll up and down to zoom in vertically. Now with option down, I can then just also click and drag to zoom in. Control option, click anywhere to go back to the previous zoom level. Yeah, some shortcuts there. Okay, so the way this works is that we basically Logic visualizes what they call a comp. This is comp A. Why is it comp A? Because I already exported it. The song is out, so I have made my comp already. But for the sake of this video, I just extracted the old takes. It looks like a normal region. However, you can see there are little lines like there or there. Interesting that the snare has a different cut. Are we on different takes? Possibly. Let's see. Anyway, we don't really care. Now, what you need to do to edit the comp is to open the disclosure triangle. Now, with vocals, you would have probably one track. Now, with drums, is a bit more complex. So I often, complex because if I select an area of a take on one overhead, the other overhead will still be playing another take. So with the snare microphone and so with the kick. Now the drum kit, I mean this particular recording was kick out mic out of the kick. So kick out. So I didn't do a tunnel like Kramer suggests. I didn't do a tunnel for my kick mic. The 57 ohms there. So that would have also hi-hat and other stuff. Yeah, there's nothing on the tracks. So you know what, I need to, oops. Kidoki, yeah, I want to reset that channel strip and reset the channel strip as well. So they're all kind of the same, but you can hear how the snare 57 will pick up the tom-toms and the hi-hats as well. The kick is not, but yeah. See how the kick picks up the snare and stuff like that. So we need to make sure that basically the comp we do in this overhead track is the same on the other ones. Now, how do we do that? Let's open one. So we're going to solo this overhead so we can work on one track that has pretty much everything, because overhead will always kind of have the whole pretty much. Now I had two, so one covered more of the ride and crash symbols on the right, and another one picking up hi-hat and any symbols on the left-hand side being the drummer. Cute. So, but you can hear how this overhead picks up pretty much everything. Let's try the other one. Oh, actually, probably better this one. Cool. Why am I doing this? Because we can hear all parts of the drums. We can make a decision on timing and quality of the session in general, right? So then we can go and copy that on the other take folders. Yeah. Now I'm going to zoom in on this 3 because there's nothing on these takes. I guess I just redid the ending part, and let's see what's going on here. Okay, fine. Okay, how do we deal with this then? Let's zoom in there. Right, you see that this is the, I mean, now that it's all chopped over, you kind of don't see that. But let's say we just got back from recording. You can also just say, you know, do me take 1. You can also use this little shortcuts here in the actual take folder. See, there's a little 2 or 3, or I can go to comp A, which is a comp I have saved using one of these options. I don't remember what, but maybe export active comp to new track. I normally do that so that I don't damage the take folders. I'm just taking the selection of regions that I like in my comp, take those into new tracks. So on the actual project with the vocals and the rest of the stuff, I would have transported over copy pasted over a snare, kick, overhead 1, overhead 2 as single stems of a single track of my comp A. But if we started from the beginning, you know, sometimes you just want to go, let's do take 1 on all of them, so that you just basically have a listen through your takes and you know, and see what's going on. Like, you know, sometimes you can clearly see that, you know, if I did take 4, you'll see there's nothing until the ending, right? So that's not a example, but maybe take three was good. You know, just listen to your takes, right? So let's see. This one seems quite balanced. It's a shuffle track. It's quite pushy. I like it. Oh, okay. A little snare at the back all there. You see also as we go along the arrangement, you have these buttons again. So I can change my take kind of halfway through the song. Okay, cool. So we've talked about the disclosure triangle. See the takes in that folder. We talked about switching takes. Um, uh, and then, yeah, there are a few options down here, which is, well, quick swipe comping. We'll have a look at that in a second. Then you have a lot of options here. So create a new comp. So if I create the new comp, there you go. Now I have comp B created, which is basically a snapshot of where we were at that point, which was just take three. So rename the take, delete the take. There you go. If a take is complete uh, garbage, it's completely not good. You can just delete it. I mean, here you can see we have three takes covering the full song, three just of the ending, so not a. But sometimes you just start, you get to bar three or four, and you mess up. But you keep on recording. You know, it's basically the scenario here is that you have a cycle region. You record enable all drum tracks, and you just cycle through. But even if you stop and hit record again, that will then add another take to this. Okay. Actually, if we stop that now, we have a take. There you go. We have a little take 7 there, right? So if I did go on take 7, then I can just go delete take. Are you sure? Yes. And I'll go back to my setup. Okie dokie. Then you have flatten and merge. So um, we'll see once we do some cuts. Export active take to new track. That means we select what we want. Um, I mean, you have seen the quick swipe comping option, which is this. I can just click and drag to select the comp, right? So you see, this is creating kind of little cuts. You see, there are fades as well there near our cuts, and these cuts just come from. See, there's a gap there. There's a gap there. Oops. There you go, something like that. Now, if I flatten that, you see, it's flattened. It deleted my take folder, and but left the regions, left the cuts basically where they were. Flatten and merge will do that, but also merge all into one new audio file, like that. It'll basically bounce it. It is bouncing. There you go. Another good one is export active continue track. There you go. Boom. That's my overhead comp done. Okay. Just delete that. Unpacked independent tracks. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Like we got our overheads unpacked. Like that is unpacking all the takes in separate tracks. Don't know if you saw that. Let's do it with this one. This is it messed up. Deleted. Yeah, okay. back to 3. Okay, so if we took this one and unpacked it, there you go. This is our 3 takes and the ending, which is fine if, for example, if this was vocals and you want to just go, you know what, delete that, maybe delete all of that and use that to go there. I don't know, whatever. You do you, right? Okay, back here. Cool. What else? Right, unpacked independent tracks and mute inactive. Uh, unpack the tracks with the same channel and unpack the track alternatives. There you go. So that is taking it to, instead of having take folders, you have alternatives. Okay, not a huge fan. I like to keep my take folder. And there you go. Basically, all we need to do is, I typically solo and overhead camp for drums. And have a look. So, okay, and so on and so forth. You listen to the take and whatnot, but maybe we won't. Okay, neighbors dying. Take 2. Okay, very, very, very strong start there. And take 1. Oh, we turned on the cycle area. Okay, I think this one made it in the cut, but otherwise you just drag other kind of regions to basically swap out, and the take folder will display the cut. Okay, now that is the quick swipe comping option. If we change that, you can also change it here quickly. You won't be able to click and drag to select your region. You'll just be able to, I guess, just cut or, use your sys tool to go and say, right, I wanna cut there, I wanna cut there, and there, and there, and there. And then, create your, create your comp that way. Of course, now I messed up by having a bit of both. So this is now using that and that. And here I would have to kind of delete that, kind of move it to this region to activate it. But anyway, forget that. Let's say we do it on this one. Okay, we just go solo, change to the just cutting, you know, that's swipe comping, and this is just cut comping, which again you could use, then go and basically say, right, for example, I didn't like, say we were on, this was the active one, so we did, oops. So let's go back to take 1 as the active. Here we go. We didn't like a snare, say here. I can just go, oops, delete that, and just take a different chunk and just put it on there. Stuff like that. Okay, of course, I always use the swiping one because it's a lot easier to just click and drag.